mountains all around. It's Pennsylvania perfect. Good morning, my friends, and welcome to the Bucktail Drive, Route 120, here in the north central part of Pennsylvania. This is a scenic drive that follows above the Susquehanna, west branch of the Susquehanna River, and we are heading into the heart of the PA Wilds, the most remote and beautiful part of the state of Pennsylvania. We're going to be spending the evening, the weekend really, at Kettle Creek State Park. We're going to be doing some camping, some hiking, some exploring of this region. It's been many years since I've gotten into this area, and I'm super excited. So thank you for joining me on this wonderful adventure. It's going to be a great episode. I do appreciate you, and lots of good stuff ahead. So see you up ahead. Now, before we make our way to Kettle Creek State Park, we are going to be stopping at one of the most famous and beautiful overlooks in all of Pennsylvania, Heiner View Overlook in Heiner View State Park. And I can tell you, I guarantee you, this view is going to be spectacular. There's clouds hanging over the valley. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to get to the top of the mountain. It's going to be awesome. We are off to an amazing start already. The view from Heiner View Overlook, epic. When I reached the top of the mountain, it was completely clouded in. You couldn't see hardly anything at all, but very quickly that cloud dissipated, opening up a magnificent view. We are off to a great start here on this weekend adventure. Alright, we are in Kettle Creek State Park now. We are coming in from, I guess you would say, like the southern entrance. We just passed the lower campground, which is right along Kettle Creek. We're going to be in the upper campground, and we just also took a look at the dam, and the reservoir is off to the right. It is so beautiful out here. The temperatures are in the 60s, and we're in July. It's just going to be a beautiful weekend. It's now 11 o'clock a.m. I just got back from the park office, checked in, everything's good, and I'm going to begin doing some exploring. Now, we're north of the park office at a place called Beaver Dam Road, where there's a small parking area and a little kiosk. Now you can head in that direction, and it's a long distance equestrian trail. But I noticed on my research on satellite imaging, look like some old roads in the fields here, or they're not marked trails on a map, but I did see some possible pathways to explore this upper area. And I see just across from me a mowed grass path. I don't know how far it leads, if it leads far at all, but let's go check it out and begin our exploration of Kettle Creek State Park. We're heading in on this mowed path. We are again north of the main day use area. And one thing that's interesting about Kettle Creek State Park here is that we are within the elk range, the Pennsylvania elk range. And Elk are not commonly seen in this park, but they can be seen. And what I suspect with this habitat here, that looks like it's somewhat of an old field combined with patches of trees. This may be habitat that is maintained for elk and wildlife. And I also noted on the map that it says that this area is open to hunting, but walk-in only. I'm not sure what that means, but let's check it out. So we're continuing along the path here, surrounded by tall grass. It's wet and it's very buggy. A lot of gnats. This part of the state, of course, is somewhat notorious because we really are deep in the forest, as deep as you're really going to get in Pennsylvania. But beautiful Kettle Creek is right beside me. There's even a couple old benches I'm discovering. So at one point this maybe was a trail system, or maybe it's like an access path for fishermen, but it's a beautiful habitat. So one of the reasons I wanted to check out this upper section of Kettle Creek is because there's notably very limited hiking trails within the park. There's plenty of very rugged hiking trails in the surrounding Sproul State Forest, which at 300 and some thousand acres, I believe the largest state forest in Pennsylvania. But I was originally going to try this really ambitious 7-mile loop hike connecting onto the Donut Hole Trail, which is a backpacking trail, but the park ranger suggested that it was not really, she didn't recommend it, I'll say that. So we're going to skip on that and we're going to focus on some smaller hikes and driving locations today. So what we end up having here is just a small little kind of like nature trail. I'd say it's between 1/3 of a mile and 1/2 of a mile. It gives you access to the creek, takes you through a little wetland area and through some nice fields. And depending on how often they mow that, this would either be a good choice to go for a walk or maybe not. But it's also a good place probably to view wildlife. I think that's what it was designed for, wildlife habitat. All right, my friends, here we are now at Site 47 in the upper campground of Kettle Creek. Now it's 1 o'clock. I've set up camp, just had a bite to eat, and I'm probably going to take a nap. But after that, we're going to be heading up the mountain here to the Kettle Creek Vista, which overlooks the reservoir. It's supposed to be a spectacular viewpoint. Matter of fact, it is. I remember going there many years ago. After that, I'm going to go down to the lake and just kind of hang out by the lake in the early evening. And then from that, we'll figure out what we're doing. We can start a fire, or we can go look for some stars. And there's supposed to be a night sky program being presented by a ranger just in the field right over there. So got a lot of options, and it's going to be an awesome afternoon. Thanks for joining me here for some nature adventure discovery in beautiful scenic Pennsylvania. we're going to check out this little nature trail that runs right behind the campground. I mean, it's like 100 yards from where I'm camped, so I think it's a real short little trail, but we'll see if we see anything interesting here. And at any rate, it's a nice little walk in the woods. Lovely little section of shaded forest here, really green, lots of moss, little tiny tributaries pouring into this little hollow here. So I'm just looking around, seeing if I can find anything interesting, any plants, maybe salamanders, anything like that. Beautiful spot. Alright, so a really short little trail. A little bit overgrown, I'm kind of surprised. A lot of nettle down in the hollow there. So what I suspect is that this was once a area of really densely shaded hemlock trees, but it appears to me the trees here, like almost everywhere else, are dying back really bad, and it's opening up the forest floor, and it's allowing all these sun-loving species to take over and encroach on the trail. And so, you know, unfortunately we're seeing that everywhere in Pennsylvania, but probably, you know, late fall, early spring, it's a beautiful place to walk. A little overgrown in the summer though. All right, my friends, we are now headed up Sugar Camp Road. We are headed to Kettle Creek Vista. We are continuing our way up to the Kettle Creek Vista on this crazy road here. There are some downed trees across the road. I really want to take this moment in time, while it's on my mind, to say thank you to all of you who have recently subscribed after my appearance on the Quite Frankly podcast. And I want to also thank you personally, Frank, for allowing me to be on the show. It was a real pleasure and a real highlight of my experience on YouTube so far. But I want to welcome all of you to our community here of nature and outdoor enthusiasts, and I hope you find some value in the channel, and I hope you stick with me. And just wanted to say thank you. And we're about to get to the overlook, and it should be awesome. We have arrived at the Kettle Creek Vista. Another amazing overlook. Oh, this is beautiful. Wait till you see this. I've been driving around, and I was looking at the map, and I came across this area again to the north of the main day use area of Kettle Creek. And I was driving on these back roads, and they're not really, they're marked on the map, state park map, but it doesn't really specify what they are. So one was like a day use area, I think, for fishing. But anyway, I'm driving on these old mountain roads, and I came to this cemetery. I think it's called New Maple Grove Cemetery. There's a nice view here, and a well-kept cemetery with some nice stones. So looks like we got some older stones and a nice view. So you can see by this memorial, it says GAR. That's Grand Army of the Republic, 1861, 1865. That's the Union Army in the Civil War. Rest in peace, sir. Rest in peace, all of you. But beautiful little well-kept cemetery. As far as I can tell, the oldest stones date to the 1840s and 1850s. But cool little find here. Almost 6 p.m. and we're now in the main day use area of the park, and we're down by the lake, and we're gonna explore the lake shore. And I'm really looking forward to just sitting by the lake and seeing if we can observe any wildlife. And it's such a beautiful setting down here. I can't wait to show it to you. It's hard to explain how beautiful and peaceful it is down here. Here we are at the confluence of Kettle Creek and the reservoir. And there's a vast open space here with mountains all around. It's Pennsylvania perfect. These mountains aren't the biggest and most jagged, but they have a familiarity to me, a comfort. I really feel at peace here. I really feel happy. I really love this place. It's a very special place here. Just had a bald eagle fly across. It's just awesome.
We're actually looking back into time from, we're seeing light from that star from what, July 22nd, 1592? Yes. Wow. So, yeah. So we're looking.
I learned about that in a school.
Yeah, we're looking back into time. So 1 light year is 6 trillion miles. Yes. Yeah, so there's our diamond ray. Right over here is going to be our Northern Cross. We all can see a cross in that, right?
Yeah.
Or in Greek mythology, it is Cygnus the Swan. Can we see a swan in there?
Oh, I gotta figure it out.
Okay, wait, here's the head. Okay. Here's the body. Here's the wangs.
Yeah.
Right here. And then,
I do see.
and then the neb is the tail. Sort of. Yeah. And so, to make another cool asterism, kind of like our Big Dipper,